And what has happened to the movement? And when we look at the scale, and we look at the barometer, and we look at the ruler, we look at all these systems of measurements, and we also recognize that the temperature is only changed in degrees. We have to say, where are we? Now, there was a time that we decided that things were different in the north. And that's why a lot of people migrated from the south. They came north to the land of freedom. Yeah. Where people know how to treat others like human beings. Now, there is some truth in the fact that in the north, people began to wake up because they weren't aware of what was happening in the south. Because many of them went south, but they went to South Beach. They didn't go to small communities or even the larger urban communities. They went to the beaches. They went to Miami Beach. They went to Palm Beach. They were beaching around. So they weren't exposed to the kind of treatment that we got in the South. I'm from Tampa, Florida. But I lived in Philadelphia, as I said, for a few years during elementary school. So I had the experience in both worlds. Yes, I went to an integrated school. My principal was Mr. Rosenbaum. But I had a teacher named Miss Ward. And she was the one that realized that I didn't have the same education as the other students because I had gone to school in the South. And she took me home with her on Saturdays. That's where I spent my Saturdays, in Mrs. Ward's house, elementary school teacher. They put me back in the 4th grade. But they had graduations in the 6th grade. Full graduations. Guess what? I was the graduation speaker. Having been put back in the 4th grade, Miss Ward dedicated her life on Saturdays to me, and I didn't disappoint her. And I was proud of that. My point is, what you can do with the life of one person by just giving a little of yourself is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Now, I'll tell you, I was thoroughly confused when I first got to this high school, Spring Garden Elementary School. Because I walked out there, they had the playground on top of the roof. They didn't have grass and all that kind of stuff, you know, and run around. They had a playground with like a cage on top of the roof. And I walked out there, and doggone it, a white fella came and socked the black fella right in the jaw. Little boy came and socked him in the jaw. This white fella. And guess what happened? Another white fella came up and socked him in the jaw. And then a black fella came and socked the white one in the jaw. I said, these people are so confused, they don't know what side they're supposed to be on. This was the most, reckoning thing for me to realize that people could cross the color lines. Folks have to be taught to be separated. Or by any means, separated. And today what we're facing is the tragedy of people finding insignificant differences and then making a difference out of the differences. That's the challenge we have today. What difference do these differences make? And as we begin to closely examine what's going on in our society today, the basic problem is the same. Yes. The problem has always been economics. Some people say, well, it's economics now. Economics now. It was economics then, and I don't doubt that it'll be economics in the future. Yes. What's the economic part about it? Economics is the illusion that the more capital that you have, the more powerful you are, and the more important you are. And that has nothing to do with race. Sorry. No, the race part, that was a convenient line of demarcation. Oh, let me tell you what the real problem is, so we can just break it down. And we'll have some time for questions and discussion. You know what the problem really is? Childism. Not sexism. Ain't no race. No. The common denominator is childism. That there's some people who treat other people as if those people are children. Yeah. Women? Oh, we know about women. All they're going to do is buy some more shoes. Well, we can go buy a set of golf clubs and spend $2,000 and don't even think about it. Let's talk straight now. I'm too old. Who makes decisions about how the money is spent? Children? Oh, you don't have no great big bedroom for no children. With no, king-size bed? Why do you need a king-size bed for a child? They need a crib. What they do is put some folks in cribs, shotgun houses, cribs, little apartment like Robert Taylor Homes used to be in Chicago, cribs, a little this. So the whole idea of room and space, children don't need as much room and space as adults. Childism. I know it's hard, but I can't help it. No. Elderly people, childism. Why can't you let your grandmama at least put an X in her signature? Why you got to take over her bank account and all of her stuff, and she can't even keep any dignity or self-respect? At least you ought to hold her hand and try to make her, let her sign a name to her stuff. Well, if it sounds like I'm fussing, that's what I'm doing. Yeah, I'm making up a fuss. Because I want to get to the universal approach to this problem. And it's childism. Oh, no, it's not just individuals. Countries are treated like children. Oh, Nigeria, they produce 1/4 of the oil we use in this country. And where do you think the Nigerians have to buy their fuel? We don't have any refineries in Nigeria. They just produce the oil. We take care of it. In British and other folks. I'm talking hard now. But we don't have time. Time is against us now. We got to get down to it. Childism. You can't be responsible for your own resources. I know what I'm talking about. My grandfather was born in Cuba. I know what happened. Mr. Ybor, the city that I was born in, Ybor City, Mr. Ybor decided that rather than buy Cuban cigars, let's just buy the tobacco and make the cigars here. Buy the tobacco cheap and the price of tobacco ain't gone up yet. Cigars did. Coffee from Colombia? Oh no, we haven't. No. Price of coffee from Colombia is raised yet. The beans. No. All we want to do is pay the same price we paid before. We'll raise the price of ground coffee here. I got to talk straight now because I ain't got much time. Getting too old. So what we're talking about even in the school system here in Rochester, it ain't about race. It's about childism. Some folks don't need as much as others. They don't deserve as much as others. And we have a line of demarcation. Who gets the most? Are we talking about need? Are we talking about greed? Sorry, I haven't seen a hearse going yet with no brake truck going to the graveyard.